So we are here in the home of Nate from Witch Mountain. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming.
Here with Alyssa from Photo Fortress. So you're going to be DJing at Psycho in addition to playing with Witch Mountain. And I remember at Psycho California, you were a little hesitant to DJ there because bringing records and stuff through all the heat and everything. So I'm kind of curious as to what's different this time around. Do you have just a better way of transporting them, or?
Well, I mean, the main reason I didn't DJ at Psycho California is because I didn't go to Psycho California.
Oh, okay.
But since I'm performing at Psycho Las Vegas, and I'm already going to be there, and we were able to get all of our flights on Southwest where you get 2 checked bags, that sort of made it way easier.
Nice.
So the pretty much the last question is, how am I going to transport them? And my girlfriend has one pretty cool road case, but I might be investing in another one before that time. I just kind of have to figure out the weight differential.
Yeah. So how many records are we talking about?
Well, like to a normal gig, like a normal DJ gig, I would bring a crate like this and I would probably use about half of that many records. I think for something where I'm flying in, I might be slightly less, but much more strategic about the records that I pick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a fun process.
Okay.
I haven't really started it yet. They tell me I may be DJing 3 different days, so I'm still waiting for a little bit more information about exactly what is expected, but at the same time, I've been DJing 3 nights a week for the last 12 or 13 years, so I feel like it's not going to be that challenging. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
Right on.
And I'm glad that they know enough to do vinyl only, because I easily could have bring a laptop or something, but I just tend to not do that, especially living in Portland where people are really snobby about that sort of thing, and I include myself amongst them. You know, if you call yourself a DJ, you should own records.
I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So how long have you been collecting? You've got quite a formidable collection here.
I started buying records a lot in high school. I had gone through a big D&D phase, and well, it probably started with like Star Wars cards. Collected Star Wars bubblegum cards and action figures. Then I got into D&D and comic books for a long time, and then midway through high school, when like mind-expanding substances got involved and I had a summer job, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke cigarettes, and I had a job in high school, and so I had some expendable income, and at that time CDs were coming in long boxes for $13 a piece, or you could find every Slayer record for $2.90 used. And so to me it was mostly about the price and having sort of a librarian mindset. I'm like, oh, well, I want every Slayer record, I want every Iron Maiden record, and so for less than $5 a piece I was able to do that. And then there were a lot of years, especially like later 90s, where a lot of these records, you know, didn't get played a lot. And then I got invited to do a DJ gig at Satyricon, a heavy metal DJ night. And that I was like, well, I don't know how to DJ. And my friend David said, I'll teach you in 5 minutes how to DJ and use a mixer. And he did, and it was easier than I thought. And at that time, Steve Carter had a radio show called The Oatmeal Hour, and Maximilian from Atriarch kind of had the market cornered on being the metal DJ in town. And Maximilian went out of town on tour with the Get Hustle and asked me to cover for a few weeks at this bowling alley where there was a metal night, and that's where I really started cutting my teeth. And actually Brooks was the sound man for that at that time.
Right on. Are they still doing the heavy metal bowling league?
No, that bowling alley has been gentrified and
okay.
So that's not happening. But I will say that's the bowling alley where I discovered Wolves in the Throne Room playing with 12 people one night, and thought these guys really could go somewhere, and we became friends then and there.
Wow, that is very, very cool. Yeah, that's a shame that's shut down.
Yeah, I mean, it was neat to see bands playing right on the lane.
Yeah,
but
no
it was
kidding.
Also, you know, a weird juxtaposition of things going on, and acoustically it was challenging, I think, too. But,
I imagine so.
You know, it was cool because it was so skeezy. Like, it really was a smoky dive bar bowling alley that, for lack of anything better to do on a Tuesday night or whatever it was, they invited metal bands to play, and so some good times.
Did they play bowling at the same time, or?
I think that happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would have to be pretty surreal.
People tended to pay attention to what was going on, but bowling alleys are wide. So.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of room.
Right on. Do you find that this is generally just a great way to keep records? Just, I know some people really fuss about them, but is the temperature pretty even here? Does that matter? Are they pretty durable over time? Do you worry about those type of things? Does it keep you up at night?
I take care of my records, but I am not overly... to me, the important part is that the vinyl is preserved.
Yeah.
As far as the jackets go, my records are in heavy use, and they get played often.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not uncommon for me to have $100, $200 copy of Death Scream Bloody Gore out at a DJ night, because to me, I paid $3 for that record in 1992,
mm-hmm.
and it's meant to be played and listened to.
Yeah.
I'm not saying people shouldn't have airtight archives. That's wonderful. But my record collection is meant to be shared with people for the most part. I mean, I have a Sun record with a wax seal that I would rather not break, because that was given to me by my friends and Sun.
Sure.
And so that's like a personal gift item that I'll preserve. But in general, because I own my own needles, I know how the records are being treated. They get played a lot, and they get played for people, and that's what they're for. This is not a collection. It's not a hoard. It's a library.
Yeah. Well, can we see some of your favorite finds?
Sure. Let's see. I mean, the tricky thing is, because I DJ so often, the idea of having an alphabetical order is out the window, because I would be filing all week long. So instead, I kind of have genre per gig. So my radio show is a heavy metal sewing circle on X-Ray FM. It's Wednesday nights from 10 to midnight Pacific Standard Time. You can also stream it online from anywhere in the world, xray.fm, and the shows get archived for 2 weeks. So if that's not a convenient time for you, you have 2 weeks to listen to that show. These two shelves and this one are all things that might get played on the sewing circle. My vision for that is all the great heavy metal songs that Clear Channel doesn't play. So you're not going to hear Breaking the Law or War Pigs on my show, because that's covered. That's happening all the time, right? But Black Sabbath has how many amazing albums that are ignored by Clear Channel. So anyway, my definition of metal for that show is good songs, good singing. I don't get into thrash and death metal, even though I love thrash and death metal. So, whether it's Robin Trower, Mott the Hoople, Killing Joke, Van Halen, or more obscure things, you've got Shakin' Street, Wishbone Ash, Angel, Morning Star. The idea is pretty much, what are the great songs from the canon of rock that just didn't get the right payola treatment, because the difference between a great song that's on classic rock radio and a great song that isn't is somebody didn't get paid.
Yeah.
So, New Holy Grove.
Nice.
That gets on there. Melvin's Houdini. Got an old copy of Sleep's Holy Mountain.
Cool.
Not a reissue. This copy of Sabbath's Bloody Sabbath has the lyrics sheet. You don't see super.
Oh no, that's right.
I'd like to get a gatefold of this one, because I know there's some cool art in that. But the thing is, when you out of here? Or are you?
No, I'm just looking.
Cool.
I'm just more over here.
Sorry, I should move around a little bit more.
That's all right. This is my copy of Tommy that I special ordered in high school. Saw the video in 1989.
Nice.
This copy of Master of Reality, let's see, 1996. I bought it for $3.95, and I was particularly psyched because A, it's the embossed cover. It's the green label Warner, but most importantly, it has this lovely, elegant poster.
Oh, that's rad.
Isn't that cool? I need to get that framed sometime.
It's in really good shape too.
Yeah. Well, it's been hiding here in this jacket since 1971. Trying to think of anything specifically rare or random or cool. I found this sealed at Goodwill for 50 cents. That was a score. And this actually has all the fan club stuff in it. Or
Oh, wow.
arms, some.
Very neat.
Well, yeah, there's also a picture of them. Let's see.
Do you still find a lot of good buys out at the Goodwills and things, or are they pretty picked over these days?
I really don't go to Goodwill much. It's a brand new candle mass. So I'm still
That's right.
Still investing in this. Actually, this is when I got off eBay just a couple weeks ago. It was also sealed from 1988, Riot Thunder Steel.
Yeah.
So I was pretty happy to crack that open and get to hear it. My co-host on the show said that when he buys a sealed record from 1984, he'll like open it and then breathe in the air from 1984 super quickly. I didn't do that. Maybe next time.
I would never have thought about that, but that is actually a good idea.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
This is a bootleg of Black Sabbath Forbidden, their worst album by far. It's got cameo from Ice-T rapping on the first song.
What?
This album, 1995. We actually did a Sewing Circle episode about this album a week ago, where we went through track by track and listened to every song, and it was a punisher. I had some fans call in and say that it was simultaneously the best and worst episode of the show ever. I actually feel like half of this record is decent.
Cool.
Been picking up more Slade lately. I didn't have a lot of that when I grew up on them. Styx, Serpent is Rising, an album that not a lot of people have picked up on, but it's a great classic rock album. Lucifer, these guys slept on the floor here last year.
Cool.
It's another good way to get records, have bands sleep on your floor. Yeah, I mean, I still go record shopping, but I'm very much, well, there's two mindsets. Like, once in a while, there's something I have to have, and I'll get on Discogs or eBay and find, the best deal or copy that I can, because I don't like to pay $75 for a record. It has to be something really special. I think, rounding out some of my Danzig collection, I sunk some money into that, just because I needed to have those first four.
Right.
But my preference is not to go with a goal. I like the find. I like being in the new arrivals at Crossroads, and there's something in there where I'm like, oh wow, $6, and that's something that I'm meaning to grab, and the next time I see it, it's going to be 2 or 3 times the price. So to me, it's like just the thrill of discovery.
Right.
It's especially nice when there are listening stations at these stores. So when I was first putting this collection together, I only wanted albums that I was going to love forever, start to finish, perfect records, as many good, great perfect records. But once I started doing this radio show, where I really wanted to discover, just great songs that had been overlooked, I'm a lot more willing to spend $3 or $4 on a record with 1 or 2 good songs on it. So that's why this stuff's spilling out onto the floor at this point. It's because I have bought a lot of records in the last 2 years for the benefit of keeping the show fresh. I know that for the first year I didn't repeat a single song.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah, down here is all like 80s pop and disco. This is more overflow of the Sewing Circle. This is kind of weirdness section, classical. This is all prog, fusion, and jazz. This is all soundtracks. And then this is kind of like indie, punk, new wave stuff.
What do you have in the weirdo section?
Let's see, going down here, this is a Robotech Macross record I was very excited about, because I have this other Robotech record. Actually, I think it's in a bin because I took it out recently. I was hoping it was music, but this is actually a series of like Japanese anime girl story albums.
Huh.
It's kind of like a diary or something in Japanese about her day. So
Interesting.
that was a misfire when I bought those.
So some of these you're kind of experimenting with. You're not sure what you're getting.
It happens.
Yeah.
You know, I'll take a chance once in a while. The reason I bought those is because I'm a Robotech obsessed fan. They were $7 each, and I was down at Amoeba in LA, and it was like, well, I'll never see this again.
It's true.
I hope it's good. It's, you know, I blew $14. I can live with that. Moog Records.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah. Sometimes it's stuff that's just, sound effects records with no.
I find a lot of really weird independent religious vinyls too.
Such as?
Yeah.
This one someone mailed to me with no return address, so this was a like gag gift from a mysterious stranger.
Interesting.
You never found out who it was?
I think actually someone did reveal themselves, and I forgot who it was. So it's meant that I wouldn't know. I don't think there's anything else in here that's particularly fun, you know, like romance.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes things just get misshelved down here too. Looks like there's a bunch of jazz in here as well. Got my old school rap,
Oh yeah.
Grandmaster Flash.
Gotta love.
Where I hide my reggae records that I have just in case I need one for something. Got my Cheech and Chongs, my Bill Cosby's, Steve Martin. So yeah, a lot of comedy ends up in the novelty section.
Yeah. We used to listen to
First your Haunted House.
a lot of that
sound
stuff.
effects.
Those are cool.
Yeah. My dad had his favorite comedy records. Bill Cosby and
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Smothers Brothers and
I can't wait
all
for
that
him to
stuff.
die so I can listen to them again.
Exactly.
'Cause, I mean,
Some of that
really-
stuff was damn funny,
brilliant
you know?
records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, very cool, very cool. I'm glad that we had a chance to see your collection.
Sure, and this is actually all metal over here.
Okay. So on the technical side, what are you working with for a record player, phonograph?
Well, I have one in my bedroom and one out here. The cooler one is out here. This is the Luxman Direct Drive.
Cool.
And this is the top of the line Yamaha from 1981 that I was gifted a while ago, and it broke, and I took it to the old man at the repair shop and said, I want to trade this in towards a Marantz. And he said, no you don't. This is the best model from 1981 Yamaha, and he fixed it for me cheaply, and I was like, wow, thanks for being honest, and I'm really glad that
That's very cool.
I kept it, so thank you very much.
Yeah, well, some of those things were really, really built to last.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's got a nice sound. And then in my bedroom I have the Marantz and the
Okay.
techniques.
And then you said that you use your own needles, so what kind of needles do you?
Well, for those, I have Shure white labels that I take. They're not the ones that I use at home. Original copy of Dirty Deeds Thunder.
Oh, cool.
Some artwork you don't see around.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So I have these Grado headphones, which sound amazing. It's really interesting. Like after 20 hours of use, they break in, and you hear it happen, and all of a sudden everything just gets warmer and sweeter.
Huh.
It's if you haven't had like really good headphones before, you don't know what you're missing.
You don't have that
Also have an
experience.
anti-static record cleaning brush, and then these cartridges, which have their little stainless steel case, and a little condom tip sleeve. So. But
Cool.
to me, I mean, the average DJ uses the needles that are on the turntables at wherever they play, and to me, that's like putting on somebody else's condom.
Yeah. Interesting. And all this you just kind of picked up as you went, you know?
Yeah, I mean, once I started realizing that I mean, there was a time where a significant amount of my income was coming from DJing, and like this record collection has been paid for itself multiple times, which is awesome. It's not that DJing is like huge money, but considering you're getting paid to drink beer and eat and play music for people for 4 hours a night, like that's fun. I did get to a point last year where I realized I was DJing like 17 times in a month, and so I curbed it back to the best gigs and the ones that, you know, are more either paid better or more
That's
meaningful to me.
a lot to DJ in a month.
Yeah, it's just all of a sudden I realized, like, gosh, there's so many things, so many creative endeavors that I have, and I want to be able to make time, you know, especially as I've been doing more writing. That was cutting into those. That's like prime creative time for me in the evening.
For sure.
And so anyway, these days I still DJ at Ground Control, which is a retro arcade and bar that I've been DJing at since like 2007.
Wow.
Because I really like the feeling of playing records in a multi-level arcade with, you know, Tron styling.
Yeah.
That's a cool spot. Plus it means, like, because I keep my toe in the door there, it means I can go game for free whenever I want.
There we go.
Which is nice. Kitty, come here. And then the radio show, and then otherwise there's just like assorted, you know, like friends' weddings. Or,
Yeah.
you know, like there's a place called Beach Street Parlor that I really like a lot, and so every month or two I'll do like one night in there and just trade it for credit for food and drinks so that I can go hang out there and
Nice.
treat my friends. What's up, kitty?
And this is
This is Whiskey.
whiskey.
Whiskey's a good bottle.
She's very pliant for a cat. You know, like most cats would be kind of freaking out at
Yeah, totally.
But she's a good sport.
She's very well socialized.
Yeah, she likes to sleep with boys and bands. Like if there's 5 guys out here, she'll spend an hour with each of them throughout the night. But I don't mind.
Nice. Oh, cool. Thanks for showing us around.
Yeah, totally. Thanks for checking it out.